Before there was Roswell, before there were flying saucers spotted over Mount Rainier, there was the Maury Island incident.
It's gone virtually unnoticed, though, for 65 years, but now it is getting new life in the form of a movie and even a celebration in Burien.
KOMO4's Matt Markovich takes us back to that UFO mystery that started a flood of sightings.
The mysteries of UFOs may never be explained, but what happened in Puget Sound in June of 1947 is getting new life. That's when Harold Dahl, salvaging logs, said he saw flying saucers. One was in trouble, dropping molten hot debris, killing his dog, burning his son. He told no one. He was then visited by a man in black, followed by a mysterious plane crash, killing the two pilots, allegedly transporting debris dropped from the troubled UFO. It's all known as the Maury Island incident.
There are just many unanswered questions, and that makes an intriguing mystery, and maybe a solvable mystery, we don't know.
In UFO lore, it's significant. It was reported 3 days before pilot Ken Arnold's famous sighting of flying saucers over Mount Rainier, the first time the term was ever used. Followed 2 weeks later by the reported alien crash at Roswell, and then the floodgates of UFO sightings opened wide.
It's not promoted like Roswell, but I always say it's the Roswell of the Northwest.
Seattle's Northwest Museum of Legend and Lore has a collection dedicated to the incident, including a piece of the B-25 that crashed near Kelso on August 1st, the first day the Air Force came into being. It became the first fatal Air Force crash ever, killing the two pilots that were on a classified mission to find evidence and speak with Dahl.
People have written it off as a hoax, and we don't know for sure if it's a hoax, but the reality of it is that two people were killed. And that is definitely not a hoax.
I knew it. This is an alien, and you guys are from some government agency trying to keep it under wraps.
Nah.
It's also significant because it's the very first reported sighting of a so-called man in black, made famous by the movie series of agents mysteriously appearing when aliens show up.
Dahl met with the men in black at a cafe in Tacoma, and this is the first incident in modern history of men in black doing this sort of thing.
But it wasn't funny in 1947.
The movie is the comic version, but the people that met them were scared out of their minds, so it wasn't very funny to them.
But now the Maury Island incident is getting its own movie.
We think it was south of Point Robinson.
The script is based on declassified FBI documents.
It's got the first man in black. It's got great conspiracy, investigations, tragic deaths, and a guy whose life changes for the worse.
So that's going to work for the top.
In typical UFO buff fashion, the film's executive producer is building a flying saucer to crash into a 1947 Buick Roadmaster, the original man in black car.
Building a flying saucer on top of a car is okay in your mind, but quite frankly, I'm overwhelmed.
It should crash in Old Burien on the evening of April 1st as a part of a promotional stunt.
This is a Maury Island incident, but Burien can steal it. I could take it and capitalize on it. No one else has.
This flying saucer is clearly fake, but what did Harold Dahl see 65 years ago this June? Was that real?
Do you believe this is true?
Obviously the crash is true. And I think he saw something. We just don't know what he saw. And that's the real mystery.
Matt Markovich, KOMO4 News.
Harold Dahl, the man who started it all, once said it was a hoax, but then he recanted. On Monday night, Burien will be holding the very first annual UFO Day commemorating the Maury Island incident.